Hello, welcome to the channel. All honor, glory, and praise be to our one and only Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. In today's conference, I want to talk to you all a little bit about smear campaigns and gossip. Smear campaigns and gossip. The thing that you must understand is that when your enemies cannot defeat you physically or in any other way, the only thing that they have left is a lying tongue. And I really feel like that for people that are very secure within themselves, and I know I'm that type of person and I always have been, I don't really react to that type of low-class buffoonery. I've always had a very very adamant knowledge that all of my enemies were way beneath me. I've never seen any of them as anything. I've always just seen them as just garbage. So it is because of this knowledge that I have of them and what they are, that when my name is lied upon or they throw dirt on my name, or, I mean, you can't throw dirt on my name. You can lie, but you can't throw dirt on my name because it's not going to stick. And that's just the type of person that I am, you guys. And I've been this way all my life. I've just never... I don't know. I'm cut from a different cloth. So when I just know that somebody is beneath me, I just don't have to react. You know what I mean? There is react. Why? Why should I? My enemies they're whores. They're promiscuous. Whether they be male or female, they're promiscuous. They're whores. They've been around the block. They've got a high body count. They are liars and deceivers. They are, they're criminals, a lot of them, if not all of them. They're just trash. And I can't I'm not going to get down on their level to go tit for tat. That's what I'm saying. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to, let me step down to deal with you. No. Because while I'm stepping down dealing with this piece of filth that's out there lying on my name, that's time that I can't get back in my own life. So perhaps this is a message for somebody out there today. Sometimes, let me tell you, you have to take the time to address certain issues. But if it is something that you really know is low class and gutter and beneath you, and gaslighting, But I wanted to say smear campaigns and gossip and lies and all that stuff is just so beneath a lot of us down here. Because I believe a lot of us down here are on the same page. You are about what you're trying to accomplish in life and where you're going in life, not people that are standing still focused on you and energetically coming at you with their tongues because they can't touch you physically, trashing your name because they don't like you, they're jealous of you, they're envious of you, they're resentful of you. That is their problem, you guys. I can't stress it enough. And I'm really on a mission one of my missions, to elevate the minds of people and the thinking of people. The people that come up against you are trash. They are trash. And basically, you've got female whores that have a high body count. You've got male whores that have a high body count. But because they've heard a lie about you, now they want to focus on you when they're the actual whore. So when you are the type of person, you know this. It's not anything you have to be like, let me try to guess. No, you know that you're dealing with something that has been around. You know that the people that have their tongues on you have been around. A lot of them have been with each other. They have a high body count. They're whorish. They're sluttish. And not only that, but whatever the things are they're saying about you, that's what they've done, is projecting. It's kind of like a confession in a way. So it's kind of like they want to say that about you, but it's really kind of an indirect confession. Like, they know they did it, but they want to beat you to the punch and say you did it to try to make them shield themselves. I don't know how to explain it exactly how I want to, but it's kind of like that. Okay, let's just say there was somebody that lived a wild life, and they let's just say they slept around a lot, they went to clubs a lot when they were very young, and let's just say there was somebody that they always envied. So the day came, perhaps, you know how people get obsessed with you and try to follow you throughout the years and through your life. So let's just say that person still has an obsession with you in your life, even though you don't acknowledge them. To you, they don't even exist. And let's just say they found out that you are, whoever you are out there, you might be graduating from college. Or let's just say you might be just gotten a job as a doctor or a manager, or you may have just opened your own business, just whatever. And let's just say that hater, that particular hater that did all that stuff, found out about it. And that increased their resentment of you. And they decided, well, they want to start a smear campaign against you because, oh, you think you're going to go over there and manage that corporation, or you think you're going to go over there and manage that mall, or you think you're going to open this business doing hair or nails or a boutique, or, oh, you think you're going to do that. Well, they resent the fact that you even have the ambition in you to do it. So let's just say they go and start a smear campaign. But the first thing they do is make an indirect self-confession by saying you did something that in their subconscious they know they did, and perhaps they hate they did. Are y'all following me? So to be more detailed about it, let's just say it was a female out there. Let's just say she slept with a lot of football players. And let's just say you're the type of chick, you were raised right, and you may have just had a little boyfriend or something like that, but you haven't really done anything in your life like that. And let's just say you're opening a boutique or something, and old football chick done found out about it. And now many years have gone by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just say 10 years. But old football chick can't get over you. Meaning she's obsessed, it's like a drive. It's like a demonic spirit that's driving her. So she starts a smear campaign on you because, first of all, she's already probably looking at you like, well, who do you think you are, when you were perhaps in high school together. And now throughout your adult life, she just could never turn or lose her obsession with you and her perception of you as you thinking you're all that. And even if you did think it, how is it her business? So let's just say that particular football chick, she starts a smear campaign against you. Meanwhile, you're in your boutique, signing off, on deliveries and putting up your glamorous clothes and laying out your jewelry and your little display cabinets. And all the while you're just happy, and you're over there, and you're, maybe somebody's calling you saying, oh, congratulations, we're going to throw you a party because you opened your store and this and that and third, and you're just all happy. And then let's just say your boyfriend or your fiance calls you and tells you, let's go out to dinner around about 7 o'clock. And now, you're actually looking at some pieces in your boutique that you might wear to go out to dinner. And you're just over there totally living and totally focused on your life. But here come football chick calling people on the phone, knowing she done slept with all the football players. But now she on the phone talking about, well, boutique over there, she slept with all them dudes in high school. She the football players, yeah. Now, football chick, no, it was her, but she's gonna say it's you. I'm just making this up, you guys, but just work with me here. She's gonna say it's you. That's projecting, because if she throws it on you, she doesn't have to face it in herself. Who am I talking to? Doesn't make sense. But so now let's just say one of your old high school girlfriends called you, and she was like, girl, how you doing? I ain't talked to you in a long time, da, 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 da. Well, I just wanted to tell you about what was going on social media. And you're like, what? And you're like, yeah, girl, there's a smear campaign against you going on social media. And you're like, what? Oh, I ain't got time for all that. And you don't pay it no mind. You're over there in your boutique and, getting deliveries or getting ready to go out to dinner after you get off and close your little shop up. And next thing you know, football chick over there calling other people. And then whoever they're calling is calling somebody else. And then whoever they're calling, da, 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 da. See, you know what? Trash like that, gutter like that, people that are business-minded and ambitious and successful are on their way to being successful. Boutique don't have time for that. Miss Boutique don't have time for that. Miss Boutique is over there, I'm just using this as an example, signing off on deliveries perhaps. Hanging up clothes. About to go out to dinner with her fiance or her significant other. On the phone talking to her girlfriends, perhaps that live in another state. You know, telling them about, you know, she just opened a boutique or she just did this, that, and the third, whatever. But football chick is still over there, stuck in high school. Ain't got nowhere. Will never get nowhere. And even if she did go and obtain a degree in this, that, and the third, her degree must not be too much important to her because she can't get over Miss Boutique over there. And the same thing for you fellas. Let's just say you were a football player in high school. And, you know, all the girls liked you or whatever. But there was always this group of guys that were hating on you because you were that guy. You were that it dude. And let's just say, you know, graduation came. You went on and graduated. And you met a nice young lady. And you got married. And you had 2 or 3 kids. Let's just say 1 boy, 2 girls or something. And you're just living your life. And let's just say you just opened your own car wash. And, you know, you're really successful. You know, you may not be super, super rich, but it's not about that. You got everything you need. You got a nice house, nice car, and your spouse does, and you're just living the good life. But them group of dudes from high school didn't like you. And they done got whim of, hey, man, you know he owned that car wash over there now. Like, what? Whatever they did that was foul, they'll put it on you, my brother. It's projecting, but it is also in a way of trying to confess their dirt off of them onto you. Can I say that again? It is their way of trying to confess their dirt off of themselves onto you. So when dirt is thrown on your name, it is their way of trying to confess their dirt off of their own name, whether if the dirt was known or unknown, onto your name. And if you are a secure, successful person and you've always known that junk was beneath you, whoever those enemies are beneath you, I believe you're going to repel it. Even if you tried to turn your head a little bit to look at and see what was being said, you can't. You can't. Because it is so fictitious. It's such a lie that you can't. And then, you know, even if you see the flying monkeys, you can't focus on them either, because with the flying monkeys, they were just as trashy as the ones that started the smear campaign. So anybody that want to jump on board, they must have forgot all the 50 bodies they done had between the sheets. And you, my brother, you never lived your life like that. Or you, my sister, you never lived your life like that. So it is what you know that's your strength. So it's kind of like when you got a bunch of folks that are beneath you yakking towards you, and you're looking at them like, I know these pack of whores ain't sitting somewhere trying to put their mouths on me like they qualify to say anything about me. And that's you know what, for you brothers and sisters out there, you brothers, I know y'all, I don't know if y'all call each other whores or whatever, but I'm just saying, if it's a decent brother, you know, a fairly decent brother out there, he could look at these dudes over here that's lying on him, and he really don't even have to respond, because you know who you are, and you know who they have been, and probably most likely still are. See, people, it's their way of trying to rid themselves of their own filth, so they'll dump it onto you. They'll dump it onto their name. And so when it boils down to smear campaigns and things like that, you automatically, when you know who you are, you know you that chick, you know you that dude, you automatically are not going to hold your head down. You are automatically going to just walk in such supremacy and such a royal posture and mindset, because you know that the folks that are coming up against you are beneath you. Oh, you guys, I don't know who this message resonates with today, but I gotta tell you, you know, it's just unbelievable, just the character of the people that will come up against you in life. And those stories about the football chick and the boutique, Miss Boutique, I just made that up, but I was just using that as an example to tell whoever you are out there, don't worry about smear campaigns and gossip. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. When you know who you are, you know what your life has been. And that is verification that your enemies want to be you, that they are jealous of you. And I know, like, as for my enemies, you know, whether they're known or unknown, and to be honest, I don't know them folks. The thing about it, I know they filthy. I know they liars. I know they deceivers. I know they have a high body count. I know they disgusting. I know they're abominable. They're ugly. They're the ugly ducklings in the pond of life. They're the ugly ducklings. And you're the beautiful swan. And you all have been, always been. Just as I've always been. And your enemies are the ugly ducklings. They're that rawhide looking, jagged, I don't know what. They're like a messy hair day. Just something you just want to cover up, you know. But your power and your strength is in your tongue. And it should come from God. And I say should come from God because you don't ever lean into your own strength. And you don't try to ever exercise your own power. It must come from on high. And one thing that an enemy will not like about you is that when you are automatically a powerful person or a very strong person. And I mean, you know, I feel like I've always have been. Let me tell you guys something. Let me share this with you guys. When I was in cosmetology school, of course, I didn't like any of the people in my classroom. They were trashy, and the instructor was trashy too. But there was I was a target in that school, and I know one of my enemies was in my class as well. Some twerp-looking girl that went to Franklinton High. And I don't know her. I know of her. I just know in high school she was ugly. She was the nasty type. She dressed bad. You know, like I said, it's always that. It's like a group of folks that's like related, but they're known for being nasty and dressing bad. She was that. And looking bad. She was that. But anyway, there was some, not to give too much away, I know there was an incident had arose in the school. And people were being called into the office, right? And there was this girl that I had gotten acquainted with. And I think, I don't know if I sent her or if she went on her own to go be a spy to see why people were going in and out of the office of whoever ran the college. And I remember her going in there, and I remember her running back, and she said, because they in there talking about you. And that's when I looked at her like, like what? Because she was trying to figure out what all the hype was about. Because perhaps maybe she thought it was something else going on. But then she found out it was about me. And she came back, she said, they in there talking about you. I remember her running back up to the bench that I was sitting on in the hallway. And what it was, people were being called in and out of the office. I guess, target, I guess making up lies or something to try to get me kicked out of the school or whatever, I guess. That's what I think. And the thing about it is the woman whose office that they were going in and out of, she didn't even have a degree. She had no college education, but she was running a college. And she only had that job because she was white. And I remember being called into her office and, you know, we exchanged some words or whatever, and that was that. But it was a college, it was a school full of narcissists. So they were doing a lot of projecting because I never associated with anybody in that school. I was not there for that. But when you are surrounded by narcissists, you know they will make up lies and they will try to say that you are the one instigating things when you don't associate with anybody in the building. So I just shared that with you guys just to let you guys know, you know, a lot of times you could be somebody, you don't even know the people. But when you're dealing with jealous, narcissistic people, that's what it is. But you have to continue to walk in your truth. And then, like I said, as it pertains to what the teacher at well, I called him a college professor, but he was I'll leave. Never mind. I'll just say this. My instructor was trash, and she was working against me, and I'll leave it at that. But she got hers in the end. And the students were trash too, and I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get into too much detail in this video, but I'll just say this: don't worry about smear campaigns. Don't worry about things like that when you know who you are. And the reason why the big bubble lip girl that started the smear campaign against me, and I call her Big Bubble Lip, and that ain't no offense to nobody else. I'm talking about she was jacked up, you know, and that's not me saying anything about anybody that's got full lips. Most black folks do. I'm talking about her lips. I'm not talking about black folks' lips. I'm talking about that animal. Okay, if you want to call her that, whatever. Well, Father, forgive me. I probably shouldn't call her an animal, but let me, you know what, like they say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. I'll say the ugly girl from high school that was in my cosmetology class. I'm sure she was like the ringleader of the smear campaign, and it's just she had a lot of flying monkeys and stuff in there, and you know, I'm not gonna say words were not exchanged, yeah, because they were trying to put their mouths in my business, but I'm sure it was just a trashy environment, and I was glad when I got out of it. And y'all, they were stealing my work and everything. I mean, it was just a whole big mess, but I won't get into that. But let me just tell you guys this, and this is coming from somebody that I've walked on the heads of many of my enemies, and I've never held my own down. And I say that in the sense of nobody has ever gotten me down. I'm not saying that. How could I put it? I mean, it just is what it is, you guys. I mean, you would just have to actually know me to understand me, you know. And nobody really knows me. I mean, there have been people that have been around me all my life that don't know me. They don't understand. They don't even understand me. They don't understand my personality. They don't understand how I can look at a piece of filth and not validate anything that he or she has to say. And I'm talking about like an enemy. I've just always been the type of person, I know who I am. And it is because I know who I am, that is my strength. I know, I'm not the type of person to go, oh no, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. No, you will not. No, I'm not that type of person. No, because I don't have to explain myself to anybody, because there's nothing to explain. Because the people that started the smear campaign against me, the gossip campaign or whatever against me, all of them were beneath me, and they still are. So no, I don't feel the need to, well, let me address this one, let me address that one. Now, I'm not saying I haven't specifically sent messages to people. Yeah, if I felt the need to. I just don't feel the need to address smear campaigns, because whatever is said, it's them, not me. So I don't, and I really didn't even have to say that. I'm just that type of chick. So no, and that's the reason why my enemies get treated like they do. You know, they're just beneath me, and I don't care. I don't care about smear campaigns and gossip. I just don't care about that. I don't care who jumps on board. I don't care, because I know what these people are. I know exactly what all of them are, and so I just don't have to address them. I know what they are. I don't have to try to convince other people. If you watch them, you'll see what they are. You know, so that's all I have to say. It's just basically just sending a word out there for whoever you are. Be confident, be confident, be confident. Be confident. Don't worry about what they say. What they say originated in their minds first. What they think is none of your business, and what they say isn't either. Unless it is something that you feel led to address, or if Father leads you to address. I'm telling you guys, it's not important. Because the people that jump on the bandwagon, they are exactly what the one that started the smear campaign said that you are, a lot of times, if not all the time. They're all birds of the same feather. That's what I'm trying to say. And they know they're lying. And you know they're lying. And I just don't feel like you should try to convince people of anything. That's one thing I will never do, is try to convince anybody of anything, because I don't care what people think. My intellect is not down there for me to try to convince somebody of something. I don't care. I know who I am, and I know I haven't lived the life that my enemies have lived. I know they've lived filthy lives. I know they're promiscuous. I know they have high body counts. The ones that I do know of, because I know there's many out there that I probably don't know of and don't want to, but the ones I do know of, a lot of them have probably screwed each other, I'm sure, because because they're highly whorish people, and they're perverted. They're the type of people that they just do sexually perverted things. They sit around. Well, I'm not going to say sit around, but I recall back in the day, it was a group of girls that were whores, and I think one of them brought a vibrator to work. So it just goes to show you the type of stuff that those tramps are into. And I hadn't thought about that in years, so I guess it was just meant to be in the conference today. But yeah, if I'm incorrect, Father, forgive me, but I believe I was at work one day, and this was back when I was very young, and I remember, I think it was somebody had brought a vibrator to work wrapped up in some type of cloth, and I think the girls that talked about men's private parts and sex all the time, I think they were getting a kick out of it. And I was just standing there looking at them, because I just knew they were just so nasty. And yes, these were some of the girls that I'm not going to say. I think I have hung. The one that brought the vibrator, I don't think I ever hung with her. She was just a part of that group. But they were all like in their own little clique, and I was kind of like just the fifth wheel, like the tag along. Like I didn't do the things that they were doing, but I just observed. But I do remember, I think one day she had brought that into the workplace and had it wrapped up in some kind of cloth or something. I don't know what that. I can't even say I saw it. I just remember her standing up and just, I guess, opening the cloth. But I'm not sure, you guys. And Father, forgive me if I'm incorrect, because there was so much stuff going on, you guys, back then. Oh my gosh. But I do know. I think I recall that, because the place that I was working at the time, it was that place was just, y'all. It was the type of place where I had a supervisor I could not stand, and she was walking around holding up a negligee, walking around the building. It was that type of. I reckon somebody's like, well, where were you working at? Because she was the type that slept with other women's husbands, and somebody's husband had bought her a negligee, and her way of trying to throw it up and show it off in the faces of the other women there, she was walking around holding it up to the front of her body to show them, because everybody knew she was a town whore. And y'all, I'm not even going to go left field into all of that. But she was also somebody that I could not stand. She could not stand me. I could not stand her. She was so ugly. She was just ugly. I don't know what. She always had something under her breath to try to say about me, even to my face. But she ended up getting cursed out one day and called a snagger-tooth something. I'm not even going to say what was said to her. But the whole building, I believe, was like jumping and hollering and screaming. I remember one woman jumping up and down in the air laughing, because I don't think anybody in there could stand her. She was a gaslighter. She had too much mouth. She had raggedy teeth that didn't sit right. And I just, y'all, listen. The people that come up against me or came up against me are so tore up. They are so tore up. I'm not going to respond. No. I'm going to, Lord forgive me, I'm going to address the issue if I feel the need to. But y'all, those, they ain't even worth it. They're not even worth it. So whoever you are out there, I don't want to go too far left field. Just, y'all, keep shining, y'all. And stay confident, and just let junk be junk. And you continue to be the gem.